Hi, and welcome to the option set video. Today I'm going to be showing mainly the two different things between global option sets versus non-global option sets, and then I'm going to walk through and create a global option set, attach it to my account form, and then show one of the big differences between that. So really quick, if you're not familiar, a option set is a drop down. Sometimes it's called a drop down, sometimes it's called a pick list, sometimes it's called a select field. For this video, when I say option set, I'm going to be referencing this behavior, this type of field in Dynamics 365. And so on my account, I can pick cat, dog, and horse. If I go into a contact, I can then do the same thing. I've created this option set on both entities, and I've put it on both entities' forms. And let's just go really quick, and I'll show on this account. We'll jump into the form, and we'll just look at that field really quick. So favorite animal is right here. If we pop this open and look at the details, I'm just doing this to quickly navigate. You can also get here from the solution. But this is the favorite animal form on my contact record. It is not a global option set, and you can tell that because it says using existing option set is set to no. You cannot change this once the field's provisioned. So if you change your mind and you're like, oh, now I want that to be a global option set, there's not an easy way for you to make that change. And then down here are my values. So I have cat, dog, horse, down there on that. And then on my account, I have the same thing. I'll navigate I don't think I really made any changes. Let's just leave, please. Thanks. I'll navigate there using the solution. So if I'm in the default solution, you can go to account, field, and this is not the contact. This is the account version of that same field here. So let's just jump over. We went too far. And favorite animal is right here. This is our field. So again, now I'm on the account. You can see up here at the top, and we have cat, dog, horse, right, that we've created. Again, this is not a global option set. And that's what we have set up right now. What I'm going to do is create a global option set called favorite dessert, and I will show you the convenience that provides, and then also some behavioral similarities and some behavioral differences between both styles of field. So if I collapse the entity tree in the default solution or in any solution that I'm working in, right below entities, option sets is the next item. And I can create a global option set from here that can then be referenced across multiple entities. So I'll save myself a lot of time. Unlike the favorite animal where I had to set up each value independently, if I create this once, I can then reuse it. So this is a more dry approach, don't repeat yourself, to developing and configuring a Dynamics 365 instance. So I'm going to just say fave dessert here, and I will add my three options like I had before. This time it's going to be cookie, and then we'll do brownie, and then we'll have some ice cream. We do tiramisu, but I've recorded this video 3 times because I can't spell, so I'm going to try to keep it simple, and we'll just stick with that for now, and I can save and close. Now, in my account entity, I'm going to drop down and go and create my new field and add it to the form. So under fields, we'll hit new, and I will call this dessert. And it's important to know that I could change the name of this display name when I reference my option set, so it doesn't necessarily have to match what I have already written for the global option set. So when I hit fair dessert, gave it a name, down here under the data type, I chose option set. This is where you pick the style of control that you're going to have on your form. We're going to use option set. And then this is the important part. I can only change this once when I'm creating the field, like I mentioned earlier. So here I'm going to say yes. You'll notice that the choices then drop off. I can no longer edit that, but I can come here and then pick fave dessert as the option set that I want to reference. So this is the global option set that I'm referencing for my option set field for my account. If I needed to edit it, I could edit here. I could also created that option set while I was in here editing to kind of be fast. But for the sake of the video, I wanted to show you how to navigate and go down into where all those option sets are stored, which is why I created it in the solution rather than inside the field editor. So option set favorite dessert, I'm going to hit save. Once this saves, I will no longer be able to change the referencing option set. So this is also disabled, and there's no easy way for me to make any adjustments now once this has been provisioned. I can change the values for the global option set. That will change it across all the entities. So it's important to understand if I add another dessert in, if I did figure out how to spell tiramisu during the recording of my video and wanted to add that fourth, it would show up on all of the fields that reference that global option set. It would not be unique. So that's the kind of important thing to remember there when you're creating these option sets. I'm going to save and close this and jump over to the form and just drop it onto the top of my form really quick. So we shall, in the F section, fave dessert, we'll bring it over here, save and close. I'm going to publish at the end when I publish my contact changes that I'm going to make. So down here I have the contact already expanded out. We're going to just create the same option set here and fave dessert. We should be good to go. Let's drop on down option set, and over here we will choose use existing, and then we'll jump in, and fave dessert is right here, right? So you can already see, that's a lot easier than having to create the list. My option set only has 3 values, but if I had 14 different things that somebody was going to pick from, it would be kind of a pain to have to edit that in 2 different places, right? So now this is created. I'm going to jump over to the form and drop it on the form really quick, and then we'll publish. Fave dessert, boom, save this, save and close, publish all. This would work faster if I was in a smaller solution. I think I have a solutions video already out that you could watch to learn more about that. If not, I'll have that uploaded soon in the future. So here we go. Publishing. It's a trial instance, so it's probably going to publish a little bit slower. I'm out of coffee. There we go. Okay, so now that we have that published, if I come back and refresh my form here on my account, we will see favorite desserts here now, and I can choose cookie, brownie, ice cream, right? What's interesting about Dynamics is that if I create a relationship, I can map both of those values to subordinate contacts. So this is my account to contact relationship. Let me back up. I'll show you how you get to this screen too. Just try to make this video super productive or annoy people that already know this. The contact has a many-to-one relationship to the account underneath the company name field, right? So there's a lookup on the contact to the account called company name. This isn't the lookup video, this is the option set video, so we're not going to go into this in a whole lot of detail. But if I pop that open, I can go into mappings, and here's fields that will get created and mapped over from the account to the contact. So if I come over and I hit new contact and create a new contact, if any of these fields have information in them, they'll be provisioned and updated onto that contact record. So it's pretty cool. If you don't know more about mappings, we can make a video about that. Throw something in the comments or hit me up on Twitter, and we'll try to make that a priority if you're interested. In the mapping section here, I'm just going to pick those 2 fields that I created. So I'm going to sort by display name so I don't make everybody sick while I scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. And here's favorite dessert and favorite animal. And the same thing over here. I'm going to map those to my there we go. So we'll do favorite animal first. I don't know why I thought I could do 2 at once. Shame on me. Alright, and then we'll do favorite dessert. So even more scrollings. We'll use this now. F. Fave dessert. And display name. Fave dessert. Right. So, boom. Okay. So our 2 mappings now exist. And just to show how that works, we'll publish again. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. There's a red subscribe button on the video right now in the bottom right-hand corner, somewhere over in here. If you click that, you'll make me very, very happy. And then also, you can follow me on the new Twitter account that the handle is on the bottom, and also there'll probably be a link in the description of the video for you to check that out. I'm probably more responsive on Twitter, so if you have an idea or something that's not relevant to this specific video, contact me through there. That gives me a perfect thing to do when we're publishing, so I think all future publishings will have a shameless plug into the channel that way. Maybe we'll call out other people too that help out. So that's published, and now if I'm in my account, JBD365 channel, and I create a new contact, we'll call this guy Super Duper, right? Hit save. He'll show up here in the list. I can go look at that contact form. This is the contact Super Duper, and we'll see that Cookie and Cat mapped over from my D365 channel settings, Cookie and Cat. That's a one-time mapping, so if I change this now, it's not going to go and update that child contact. It's only on create that it'll bring that value forward. So both mapping. So what we learned from this, the important takeaway is that whether it's a global or a non-global option set, you can still map the value to the child records in the mapping section, as long as those values match up. Now, if somebody were to change the non-global order or the value behind the scenes or add additional values, you would have some situations where things wouldn't work the way that you would expect it to. So that's a point to check, and also a danger of using non-global option sets. It makes no sense when you can just use a global one and save yourself some time and some potential problems down the road. The other thing that's very important to know about global option sets, and this is kind of the point of this video, is that if you don't use global option sets when you're setting up Dynamics 365, when you go and start playing around in the workflows, which there'll be a workflow video in the future for this, you cannot map those values back and forth between records. That I should have a sample, or we'll create a new one here. We'll create a new workflow. You cannot map those records, those values, unless you use a global option set. So we're just going to call this, I like to use the shorthand RT for real time, because I'm going to have this run as a non-background process. Contact, we'll say, update account, desserts, dessert, right? And we'll choose a workflow, and we'll run this on the contact, not the contract. All right, and hit OK. So here's our workflow editor. Again, I'll make another video someday about workflows. I'm really quickly just going to make sure that this only runs when our dessert field changes. So favorite dessert. All right, so this will execute anytime that the favorite dessert changes. I'm going to hit save really quick before I go in and make changes. And then we'll say we're going to update the record. We will update the account. And we're going to set the dessert to be the dessert that's on the contact, right? And we could make more changes here if we want to just add a fax number, 555. We'll just, for fun, we'll add that in too, so we can see that. Now, we're going to map the dessert from the contact record, and we're going to set that on the parent account. Even though that our non-global option set has the identical values, both in label and behind the scenes, if we select this field, you'll notice that there's no mapping here. And this is because it's using a non-global option set on both of these entities. This is the most important thing about this entire video for you to understand, is that if you use a non-global option set on two different entities, and someday in the future you want to have a workflow or a process go and map that information upstream or up into that lookup on update, or using the workflow system, you will not be able to do that. Unfortunately, there's just no way, if it's not using a global option set, in order to map that value back. So with a global option set, favorite dessert, we're able to set up that mapping pretty easily between the contact's favorite dessert and the account. I say mapping, but I mean like map this value to this value, not a relationship mapping. That's what we talked about earlier. So that's easy. We can just select it right here from this list. But if we wanted to do that for favorite animal, unfortunately, there's no option here. And it can get you into a bad situation, especially in the future, if you choose to not use global option sets. So unless the pick, the choice, the drop down, the select, the pick list, the option set is specifically relevant to that individual entity for the foreseeable future. And there's no story, no process, no outstanding task, no development item out there in the future to have that exist across multiple entities. Then it's okay to use a non-global option set. But for safety's sake, it makes a lot more sense to use global option sets when possible when you're setting up your entities and your forms. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save and close here. We're going to activate this, and we'll watch this workflow run, and it'll be all magical, right? So we're good to go here. We're going to go back into Super Duper now. I have no unsaved changes on my account. My favorite dessert is cookie. My favorite animal is cat. If I come into Super Duper and I change my favorite dessert to brownie or ice cream, when I go back to the D365 channel, we'll see that that's now been changed to ice cream, right? So that's a workflow that's using the global option set to manipulate the information back on the parent record when a change is made to that same option set on a child record. And that's what we've shown here. So total recap of the entire video. Before you go away, please subscribe, hang out, like the video, share it. That would be really cool. I really appreciate it. But let's just recap. We created a non-global option set and a global option set. We talked about the differences between the two and the similarities. One of the similarities is that when you're doing a mapping across a relationship, you're able to map both styles of option set, whether it's global or non-global. However, when you go to interact with the option sets in a workflow or another process, you will not have access to non-global option sets when trying to communicate information between two different entity types. Okay. Thanks a lot for watching today. I'm trying to keep the videos short and kind of set stuff up quickly, but if I didn't cover something, that's why I don't go into a lot of depth about all the things that I click on during the video. If you are interested in something else, please feel free to comment on this video, reach out to me on Twitter. That would be excellent, and I would love to have ideas about what people would like to see in the future. A little bit about me. I've got about 12 years experience in the Dynamics 365 platform, so I've done everything from plugins to JavaScript to integrations to migrations, you name it, and I've probably come across something similar to it at some point in my career. So I would love the ideas. Don't feel like something's like too technical. I'm trying to stick with basics because I want to build an audience, so I think starting with entry-level kind of information is a good way to get that floor set up to build more people and get more people following my channel and interacting with me. Thanks a lot, and have a great day. Look forward to making another video soon. Bye.